created my buffalo seitan recipe, we got a lot of emails and inquiries into just how to make a basic seitan recipe. So Eric and I are here today to show you just how to do that. So we've got Vital wheat gluten here and a vegan unchicken stock. So let's get started.
Oh, I'm gonna make it?
Yes. Get ready to get your hands dirty.
I'm all clean, let's do it.
All right, so you wanna take the Vital wheat gluten and put that in the bowl first.
So is this the same for pretty much every brand? I mean, is it Vital wheat gluten is the same across
It
all?
is the same across the board, yeah.
And just pour that in?
Pour that in, and you wanna make sure to, when you pour it all in at once because it absorbs the liquid fast, and then it kind of becomes this blob that doesn't absorb anymore. So you'll end up with a really tough seitan rather than that juicy, tender seitan that we love.
All right, so just dump it in and start kneading it. All right. So you can add other vegetables, other seasonings.
As you get comfortable making seitan, this is a really basic recipe, but as you get comfortable, you can customize it, mix it up with different herbs and spices.
So can I over knead this? I mean, is this something?
No, you want to do it for about 5 minutes and really get in there.
Great. For people like me and maybe others who haven't made it before, I do make bread, so I do know how to knead things. This is much stretchier. It actually doesn't stick to my hands, which is interesting. So it almost feels like there's an oil to it, but there's not.
And so the vegan chicken stock has a little bit of oil, and that actually really helps with the texture of it.
How's the color and when's the color added? Is that also spices and other sort of?
Yeah, so that would be added now. You could, when you cook it, add various herbs and spices in that process, and that could color it as well.
It's so funny when you just said cook that I forget we got to cook it, right? So what do we do to cook seitan to get it to that amazing texture, and can you overcook it?
So I typically will boil some broth, and then I add the seitan into it and turn it to a simmer, and I let it go for about 45 minutes. But if it went for an hour or so, that would be fine too. You could bake it. There's a bunch of different ways to prepare it. Today I'm going to show you how to make the cutlet styles once we're done with this. So once you've done this, you'll want to let it sit for about 5 minutes also, and then come back to it. And you kind of stretch it onto here.
I'm trying to make it match exactly. It's perfect, right?
So you can let your log sit, and we'll work on this one now. So we will cut it into cutlet sizes. You want to do the honors to see how it cuts?
Oh my God,
so I kind of go across.
Got it. Oh,
and that's
so
one of the
weird.
reasons I like the serrated knife for it.
And so now we're going to end up boiling these sections, is that right?
Yeah, and as it cooks, it gets a little bigger as well.
So about a half an inch, a little bit less
Yeah,
maybe?
maybe a little less.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll just add this right into our pot. I've already got the broth boiling and ready to go. So if it's thin sliced, you would cook the logs whole and then slice them. All right, so what I've got in here is some vegan unchicken stock, which is boiling. Use tongs to put them in. You can do a few at a time.
So they'll separate in the water most likely?
Yes. If I break it up with my fingers first, which is how I usually do it anyway.
I got these ready. So we kneaded the Vital wheat gluten with a vegetable stock, and we're also boiling it in a vegetable stock.
Yep.
Is there something else we could add to that water if we wanted to? Change the flavor or color?
You could definitely add various flavors. So if you were wanting to make like a sausage style, you could add fennel and, you know, the different kind of sausage spices. As you get more comfortable with it, it's really fun to actually play around.
And there's ways to do it on Instapot.
Yep, which can go a lot faster.
Yeah. So how long does this boil?
We're going to put it in here for about 45 minutes and maybe stirring every now and then, not that much.
We'll give that 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yep.
And then head back and give it a try. Awesome. Thanks. All right, so that was easy.
Yep.
And so what do we have here now?
So now we've got our seitan cutlets, and it's kind of a little spongy, a little wiggly. And you can dredge these in some flour to make breaded seitan cutlets, or you could chop it up and put it in stir fries, put it straight on a sandwich like that.
That's completely edible at this point.
Yep, this is more of a cutlet style, and it's a little more tender.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Yeah, and one of the really fun things, if you do this as a roast, it has the same texture but as a whole roast, so you get to have that fun of a centerpiece that you can slice, which is really nice for a holiday.
And so I'm excited for that video too. I'm excited for that recipe because the idea of grilling too is something that vegans feel as though they only have to ever eat portobello mushroom, steaks or things like that. So by being able to make something that's got that flavor profile, that can be on the grill for a long time, that can be sliced up and served.
Fall apart.
Yeah, served as the protein on the plate, right? This is incredible. So yeah, I'm so excited we've got this this recipe going.
Thanks for joining me in my vegan kitchen.